And when we talk about speaking engagements, you're America's Life Coach too, and you have your motivational programs. How often are you out on that?
Quite a bit. I that has really taken off, and people ask me how I got into that motivational speaking, and I say, well, I don't like the term motivational speaker. That's got a very dated feel and sound to it, and I'm definitely the contemporary approach to it. But I developed it because when I was at E! Entertainment, people kept asking me to speak at these corporate events and universities and things. And quite frankly, the money was good, so I wanted to make sure I delivered some value. I wanted to keep doing it. And people were giving me a nice paycheck to come talk for 60 minutes. And, I can't sit there and talk about things that happen on the red carpet or how good Julia Roberts' hair smells. I can't keep talking about that for long. People are going to tire of that. So I wanted to really deliver some content. So I sat down and I wrote two really, really, I believe, powerful and memorable presentations. And I honed them and worked them out much like a stand-up comedian would do when he's perfecting a set, or a band when they're trying to put together a tour. And I realized that, when I was, just like when I wanted to get into radio, I watched what the people that were doing it well were doing and modeled my behavior after them. And so I sought out Tony Robbins, and I watched what Tony did. I went to several of his seminars, but I never watched from the audience. I always went backstage and watched. And I wanted to see how far in advance did he arrive backstage? How many people did he talk to? How many assistants does he have? What does he wear? Does he go over notes? I wanted to do exactly what he was doing. And I realized that Tony studied the framework and the methods of life coaching, so I did that. He studied hypnotherapy, so I did that. He studied what's called neuro-linguistic programming, which basically says what you think affects the way you behave, and the way you behave affects the outcome of your life, the way you live your life. So I studied that, and I incorporated all of these things into these presentations so that they would be as dynamic as they could possibly be. And once I really started pouring my heart into that, they became more and more successful, and I started getting booked more and more. And now it's international.
Right.
I just got back from Paris and Portugal a couple of weeks ago, and the book is doing really well over there, and my CDs do really well over there. So it's crazy. It's not anything I ever thought that I would do, but it seems to contribute beneficial things to folks who are really looking to up their game, either personally or professionally. So I'm thrilled about that.
The book is called Life in the Bonus Round, a game show host road to success and fulfillment. It's available on Amazon.com and also on your official website, which is ToddNewtonOnline.com. If somebody's interested in the motivational part, and we'll use that dated term, can they find that information out on your website too?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. The website is chock full of information, and the book, I'm glad that you mentioned the book is available on the website, because although, obviously it's a piece of merchandise, so you got to go with the big boys, Amazon and Barnes and Noble. But when the book is purchased on my website, a very special thing happens. I'm the national spokesman for an organization called Souls for Souls. And what we do is we collect and we distribute shoes in all states of disrepair. We fix them up and we send them to people around the world who either really need them or, in many cases, have never owned a pair of shoes. And 3 or 4 times a year, I go over to Haiti and I go on a shoe distribution mission. And I'll tell you, Jeff, there's very little that's more rewarding, especially when you're a parent, than seeing a child's eyes light up when you place the very first pair of shoes on their feet that they've ever owned. And not only does it give them a sense of pride and a sense of feeling like, dare I say, a real kid, but you're preventing them from cutting their little feet open and spreading infection. And quite frankly, an infection of any kind is a bad thing to have in Haiti. I mean, doctors are not in great supply over there. But I have devoted and committed to, for every book that is purchased off my website, sending a pair of shoes over to Haiti. And up to this point, just through the book website, over 1,000 books have been sold on my website, and 1,000 pairs of shoes have been sent over to Haiti, which is a pretty spectacular thing that I'm really proud of. And I really hope that people will enjoy the book. It's, using a little Ozark Mountain arithmetic, it's 50% self-help, 50% memoir from a guy who started in St. Louis, 50% personal diary. I mean, I throw some pretty personal stuff in there, and, life's not all, candy canes and foot rubs, I mean, we all have our ups and downs, and I'm happy to share mine in this book. I'm thrilled to have the outlet to do so, and thrilled to be able to help some kids that otherwise would probably not get the attention they deserve were it not for this book.